I want to tell you the story of Racing Unleashed, where I'm CEO of. Why do we even exist? What is our plan? What is our vision? We want to talk to motorsport enthusiasts around the globe and give them what they desired but never got. Motorsports is unlike every other sport. It is the most elitist, expensive, unreachable sport in the world. Looking at the pinnacle of motorsports, the Formula One, there is no other sport in the world that can make billions of dollars in revenues with just 20 athletes. There is no other sport that has over 500 million fans just for 20 racers. F1 racers are stars, they are heroes, they are rich, but there is no sport like motorsport more difficult to enter and to play. If you take that sport seriously, as a youngster, you spend 100 to 150,000 euros for a karting season at your young age between 5 and 7 years. So if your parents are not rich, you might not even get to start, even if you would have the talent or the dream to become a pro racer. Getting to the next level, GT4, GT3, etc., we are talking about 300,000 euros plus. Continuing, it gets easily into the millions. If you compare that with another sports like soccer, European football, you buy a ball for $20, next day you're a soccer player. So every fan gets to experience what it's like to play football. The only experience the poor F1 fan gets, watching a race on TV with a beer in one hand, a pack of chips on the other hand. That's all you get. And still 500 million fans go for that. So how many people might be cricket fans or tennis fans on this planet, and how many people can drive a car? As we speak, there are 1.9 billion car drivers running the globe. If just 1 out of 1,000 would drive as a sport, from hobby to professional driver, we would talk about 1.9 million athletes. So Racing Unleashed is going to change the situation I just described drastically now. Using the most advanced simulation technologies in software and hardware, we want to create a global sports. We want to make sim racing a serious job, a profession that can feed your family. How do we do that? Today, sim racing is a nice niche gaming industry with roughly 50 million gamers globally, but you race mainly from your own PC, from your PlayStation, from your own sim rig at home. Nobody will pay you real money for winning here. You will hardly ever be able to live from that activity, and you might never become a world-renowned star. So to create a real sport, you have to compete in a control environment with the governance supervising the fairness and the rules of the game. We have created exactly that environment, that infrastructure in our racing lounges of Racing Unleashed. A racing lounge, you might have to imagine, is a location with 10 to 50 professional full motion simulators like the ones you will see here exposed. They are internationally interconnected, so they are not only connected in the lounge but across lounges, so international races can take place where, for example, racers can drive in our lounge in Madrid. Some racers may be sitting in Munich, some will race from London, and they meet on the virtual racetrack simultaneously and compete. Our goal is to expand our franchise to land in 150 global cities and organize races for thousands of racers, enthusiasts and motorsports fans. So to elevate sim racing from a hobby played out of your living room to an internationally respected sports, we all need to create a movement. So let's do this together. We cannot do that alone. Let's join that movement, support Racing Unleashed. Visit us in our lounges or simply contact us. And now let's fire up the engines. Go.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Racing Unleashed. It's the penultimate round of the championship here at Spa-Francorchamps then for what will be possibly championship deciding day in both the Challenger League and the Racer League. I'm Matthew Duffin, joined here live for all the action. We're at Spa today for race 7, as you can see there, with the final race in just under a month's time on the 10th of May. We'll find out that circuit the very last day of April, or maybe the 1st of May, I believe it will be. The prize money in store for the drivers this afternoon is as follows, and for possibly the season is as follows there. The purple is the Racer League, the green is the Challenger League. The two columns on the left of each colour is what they could win and take home today. The columns on the right of the purple and green is what they could win in the season, and for Salva Talens and Michael Smeedle, they could be looking to take home the big prize money at the end of the championship. The 4 racing lounges we have available to you all, with the Circle and the one in Kempt Park in Kemptal, the Motorworld building in Munich, and then our Madrid lounge as well. 4 lounges scattered across 3 European destinations is where we are, obviously with the big flagship lounge coming later in the year. That's going to be an exciting one to see and be a part of in the around the middle of the year. We're expecting that to be, so let's hope and see that that all works out well and dates are correct and we get that one open. But it is, as we said, championship deciding day, with 2 championships on the line for today. It could go either way. It could go to this man of Michael Smeedle, who is back-to-back champion already and looking to add to another one. Not won a race this season, but has so far been so consistent over his rival Alejandro Sanchez. He needs, and I believe it is, if I'm correct, 9 or more points outright to win the championship. If he's 8 points altogether, as we can see here, 8 points ahead of Sanchez by the end of tonight, and it will go down to next race in May. 9 or more wins it today for Michael Smeedle. You see Coque Lopez still in with an outside shot of this, but he needs something big to happen. Sirius Ambras P4 with Angelo Mikel in 5th. Enrique Marignon for Wojciech Polezny. Great fight in this midfield, all the way from 5th to 8th. Great battle there. Yannick Pletcher in that 8th spot. Then it's Sebastian Hirsch and Christoph Holstein from Florian Horser, Sinan Demerbas, Mox Valverde, Augustin Torlacci, Nico Farland. And then we've not had a point for Mohamed Ramsey, David Seed, Joshua Hayder, Lorenzo Hayder or Dominic Dedic so far this season. So that then is the situation in the Racer League, and that is going to be the big talking point in this first race. We are back to the normal qualifying format, the one-shot qualifying, and what a job them drivers are going to have to do here today, because that is going to be absolutely crucial to nail that one lap. It could easily go wrong up El Rouge and Radion. It's just going to be vital that these drivers get the lap in and make sure they've ticked the box of getting a good qualifying. I think we could be in for a bit of a mixed grid this afternoon. There is our lounge in Zurich at the airport. Our Munich lounge here, nice and sunny in Munich. The sun on Michael Smeedle there. Just shining down on him. Championship deciding day for him, and there is Madrid. There is the man as well at the front. In fact, both men on screen. Sanchez already in the green simulator. He's got to keep his championship hopes alive, and Salva Talens in the background could walk away as Challenger League champion tonight as well. It's been an interesting month of waiting. There is Michael Smeedle watching on, and just he looks as calm as he always does. He's fully focused and ready to go in this race. It's going to be a fascinating race as well. We've brought many a Spa action over these last couple of seasons, and these two have always gone wheel to wheel at this famous circuit in the Ardennes Forest then, Spa-Francorchamps here in Belgium. What a circuit this is. 7 kilometres in length, 4.3 miles, and 3 of the most iconic sectors in world motorsport. As you start at what is probably one of the tightest turn 1s you will ever think. You come down then over the start line, you head towards La Source, turn 1. Really tight hairpin corner, getting as close to that inside wall as you possibly can. And then the most famous corners in world motorsport. Up towards El Rouge and Radion. Left, right, back to the left as you come over the crest of the hill. And then you've got that Kemmel straight. You go down Good chance of the slipstream, good chance of the push to pass, and a great overtaking opportunity as you come down the Kemmel Straight in towards the braking zone of Lecom of turns 5 and 6. Flick it right, then left, and then you come into turn 7 of Malmedy. As the AI has a little wiggle on the exit call, on the exit there, you come down in towards Bruxelles of turn 8, and then in towards turn 9, which is No Name. Real tricky corner to make sure you don't take the track limits out wide. That could be where the drivers get punished here. And then you come in towards turn 10 of Puon here. Really good corner to get a launch out of and propel yourself down in towards the next chicane of turns 12 and 13. Lafangis, into 12 and 13. You could get a chance to maybe make an overtake on the entry into Campus of turn 14. This is all about your momentum out of Campus and into Stavelo, in and out of Stavelo, before you have this long run before you get towards Blanchimont then, which isn't really an overtaking opportunity through this section. You can get alongside and pass, but you've got to do it before Blanchimont. Propel yourself out of there and get down towards that final bus stop chicane of 18 and 19. Ride the first curb, careful on that second one. It just dips as you go towards the entry of the corner and across the line. Now the drivers will be hoping that they get a qualifying lap in. Absolutely no problems here today, but as well as they'll be looking for some good racing. We are on board with qualifying, and I believe this is the first of the flying laps from Wojciech Polezny then, who, as you see, comes up El Rouge and over Radion down the straight. You see there the Ardennes Forest surrounding the Kemmel Straight. A beautiful scenery, beautiful setting is this Spa-Francorchamps circuit. A really legendary track. Here is Wojciech on the exit curb there, nicely done from him. Now the drivers are solo qualifying in this, let's not forget. They cannot see the other competitors out there. This is why we only bring you the shots of one driver before you're wondering if it's a solo qualifying. It is, in terms of they're all out there at the same time, but they're on their own on the circuit. They're all on their own circuit as it goes. So Wojciech Polezny is our man we follow today. He comes in towards 12 and 13 before heading now into Campus and Stavelo. He comes using that curb on the outside, not too greedy, through Stavelo. Keeps it nice and tight through this part of the circuit. Go to the left, you're going to come back across to the right. He stays in the middle of the road, actually. Interesting line there from Wojciech Polezny. Not one I'd have taken myself, but hey, he's a better driver than me, and he comes into the bus stop chicane. Absolutely nails the first apex, keeps it wide, tucks it in for a later apex. I believe, sorry, now that may have been his out lap. That's why he may not have been overdoing the tyres a little bit. So now we are on flying lap. So now we may see them more traditional lines as we come through here then. This is Wojciech Polezny on the drone camera. Up El Rouge Radion. He goes there, beautifully done. This little kink of Kemmel here. Now onto the Kemmel Straight. Flat out for so long before heavy brake, I say heavy braking, in towards Lecom. Gotta nail Lecom, get it absolutely right. Using that runoff curb on the outside there. And now down into Bruxelles, he will go. Sort of come in, drift out wide a little bit, bring it back into the apex, into No Name. Watch the exit here, good exit from No Name there. That's a crucial one for a track limit warning. Into Puon, grab the first part of the apex, onto the outside curb, back in. And again from Wojciech Polezny. Absolutely perfect from him here. 12 and 13. Nailed, don't get greedy on the outside. He doesn't. Now into Campus. Again, watch the outside, don't get too greedy. Beautifully done from Wojciech Polezny. In towards Stavelo there then. Keeps it tight on exit once again. And here comes Wojciech Polezny on a brilliant lap so far. Sticks to the middle of the road here, in towards Blanchimont. And now the bus stop chicane. Nail the first apex, check. Gets that second one. Beautifully done from Wojciech Polezny. What lap time is this going to be on the board? It's been a stellar lap from the Czechia driver, and he goes and does a 1:44.171. And we'll await the timing tower And it's only put in P8. That lap was absolutely sublime. And it is only put in P8. So whatever the other 7 have done, absolutely fantastic. Because Wojciech Plesny's lap time there was a beautiful lap time. But P8 for him, Michael Schmiedl, out-qualified by Alejandro Sanchez. I don't think he'll be too bothered about that, though. He knows that even if it goes to that last race in May, he's just got to stick towards Sanchez. Now, I've just been told in my ear there may be a couple of changes to the timing tower. So we will await confirmation of the final classifications from race control then. So already dramas at Spa. I'm just going to wait for confirmation. These are the correct, so ignore it says provisional results. This is correct grid order. Coque Lopez from Ciro Zambra. Alejandro Sanchez, 0.08 of a second from from the pole. Michael Schmiedl, 4th with Enrique Marignon, Angelo Miquel, Sebastian Hirsch, Wojciech Plesny, who's that we saw 3/10 off the pole. Yannick Pletcher from Augustin Torlacci, Joshua Hader, Florian Horser, Lorenzo Hader, top 13, all within 8/10, cracking qualifying. Mohamed Ramsey, 1.2. off the back there, and then Sinan Demirbas 1.2 in that last place. 15 drivers on the grid in this Racer League race. Should be an absolute classic. And it's Sanchez, crucially, ahead of Schmiedl to maybe try and pull some points back heading into that last round in May. There is Coque Lopez, our pole sitter. He'll be looking to try and bring himself back into this championship, as would Ciro Zambra. Can still mathematically win it, but they need to be within 25 points by the end of this race. We're going to be bringing you some live points updates that you'll be able to see on screen as we go through the race. There is Ciro Zambra, a few of our Racing Unleashed colleagues, and sporting director Fabio sat in the background there. But Ciro is one who's going to try and stay in that championship fight. Sporting the not trademark Marcus Valverde headbands, it must be warm in Zurich. And Ciro, he looks a man who is very, very focused, obviously a part of the Williams Esports development team. Congratulations to him. He's a man who's really come on leaps and bounds over these years of Racing Unleashed. I had the pleasure of commentating on him when he was in the Challenger League and now up to the Race League. There's Alejandro Sanchez in the green simulator. It all looks tense in Madrid. They're all watching on, waiting. And Salva in the background, just behind that camera. He'll be wanting to see how people progress going into this next race. Michael Schmiedl. Doesn't look like anything is going to faze that man today. There's Sebastian Hirsch. Receiving high fives from our colleagues and friends and family. The Hader brothers. Yannick Pletcher. He always looks a cool character. Doesn't look like the family's there today. So Yannick riding solo. There's Joshua. If you haven't been to the Racing Unleashed lounges, by the way, get yourself down to them. They are fantastic lounges, great staff, great people. Mohamed Ramsey there, having a little visualisation of what he's got to do. Enrique Marignon, great race for him last time out at Bahrain. But if you haven't been to one of the racing lounges, get yourself to one, because they are fantastic places. All the staff and people who work there are brilliant people, and it is a great experience. There's Augustin Torlacci, just awaiting the start of the grid here. Sinan Demirbas we briefly saw there before going back to Marignon. Again, just visualising the start here. We are about 3 minutes away from the start of this race. Hader just having a look around in the cockpit. Bit of a stretch. Getting ready to go. And these version 2s of these simulators, let's not forget, that got rolled out this year for this season, or the back end of last year, should I say. Brilliant pieces of equipment. Version 1s was fantastic. The version 2s now are even better. So get yourself down have a go. There's a great atmosphere in Madrid today. A lot of friends and family stood, sat, watching on. A lot of the Challenge League drivers waiting to get into their cockpit for their race. And it looks like it's going to be a fantastic day throughout the whole time here in Madrid. We're on the grid then. And here we go. It's Coque Lopez alongside Ciro Zambra. Madrid from Zurich. Munich without a Racer League win this season, but it's Sanchez from Smeedel, row 2. Row 3 is Enrique Marignon from that of Angelo Michel, race winner this season. So no, Munich have had a race win, so it's Zurich who haven't had a race win in the Challenge League, in the Race League. Sebastian Hirsch from Wojciech Polezny. 7 and 8, 9 and 10 for Yannick Pletcher. And then that of Augustin Torlaci. Joshua Hayder, P11. Florian Horser in 12th. And then it's Lorenzo Hayder, 13th, alongside that of Mohamed Ramsey. And at the back, on his own, Sinad de Merbas. As we are about to get underway here in the Ardennes Forest of Spa-Francorchamps. And it could be championship deciding day for Michael Smeedel. He needs 9 points or more to win the title outright. He needs 8 points to have 1.5 hands on it, pretty much. Anything less than that, and you imagine Sanchez is going to pull himself in it. We'll be bringing you the live graphics of the championship tables. We've got the F2 race of the Challenger League in about half an hour, 40 minutes time. But it is the Racer League that are going to take to the grid. We await the lights here in Belgium. You can just feel the excitement and the anticipation in the air. The tension from all these drivers. Sanchez will look to take as many points back from Smeedel as he possibly can. And Coque Lopez and Ciro Zambra in front. Well, they're trying to keep their championship hopes alive. They need things to go their way today, as well as them getting a good result. The lights come on the screen now. The revs are about to start rising as we get 6 red. And it's green and go for round 7 of the Racer League season. It's a good start from Coque Lopez. Ciro Zambra trying to go around the outside. Here comes Sanchez on the inside of Zambra. In towards turn 1. Bit of carnage, bit of bumping in the mid-pack. Did Sanchez get ahead? There's a car round in the wall. We'll find out who that was momentarily. And Sanchez is still side by side with Zambra. Up through route they go. Together as one. We're on board with Yannick Pletcher. Did Ciro Zambra get back ahead? He has on the timing tower. But Yannick Pletcher watching on as this battle happens up front. Here is Sanchez. Smeedel watching and waiting. Round the outside of Lecom. Sanchez now has the inside for the second part. He's been spun around. He's in the wall. And that could be it for Sanchez this season. There's another car off in the background. It was Mohamed Ramsey at the start. But Alejandro Sanchez gambled round the outside of Lecoms. Got a tap from Ciro Zambra. And has that put to bed this championship? Smeedel's now sitting in second place and will be all over the back of Coque Lopez unless Ciro Zambra can keep him under pressure. But for Alejandro Sanchez there, it has all gone wrong. Yannick Pletcher sat behind that of Sebastian Hirsch at the moment. Angelo Michel still running in P5. Well, it's gone horribly, horribly wrong though for Alejandro Sanchez here. And Angelo Michel now P5 looking to make up a place or two. He's got Enrique Marignon in front of him. Then it is that of Ciro Zambra, but he's got Sebastian Hirsch right around the outside before Blanchimont. Great move from Hirsch there. He moves right around the outside of his fellow Munich driver. As that's Marignon having a look up the inside of Ciro Zambra, gets the first part of the chicane horribly wrong, has to sort it out for the second part. That's just going to allow Fat. No, he says Marignon's got ahead of Zambra. So did Marignon get the move done? Mikel's coming back on Hirsch in towards La Source. Here we go. This is what happened to Sanchez. The tap round from Zambra and into the wall he went. And there, just on the curb, Zambra just turned in and Sanchez was still all over the curb. And now Ciro Zambra's fighting back against that of Marignon up front for Eau Rouge. And look at this, 3 wide at the top of Radion, down the Camel Straight. Ciro Zambra's had a moment. He's dropping down the order. This is Pletcher and Hirsch and Mikel all in this. I can't quite tell who's done what, but Marignon's on the gravel. Zambra's managed to stay in front. What has happened behind, though? Zambra now looking back up the inside towards Bruxelles for P4. This is Enrique Marignon fighting him hard. Well, Sebastian Hirsch come out on top of that with Angelo Mikel. Yannick Pletcher P7. And Pletcher fighting hard with Sanchez. But at the moment, Marignon and Zambra's in the thick of these fights today. What a start to this race. We're only on lap 2 and it's been chaos already here in the Ardennes Forest. But it's Koke Lopez who leads from Michael Schmiedel, Ciro Zambra from Enrique Marignon. Then it's Sebastian Hirsch, Angelo Mikel, Yannick Pletcher, Alejandro Sanchez, Wojciech Plezny, Lorenzo Hayder, Florian Arce, Joshua Hayder. No, it's now Augustin Torlacci, Joshua Hayder, Sinan Demirbas and Mohamed Ramsey. Here is Ciro Zambra then. Well, he needs to get back ahead of Schmiedel by a long way, but Schmiedel fastest lap of the race. Champion-elect Sanchez has got past Pletcher. But they're still together. It looks like this is a replay of Zambra and Marignon. I believe Pletcher and Sanchez are still together. This is Angelo Mikel then. Now Sanchez, you can see there in the background, has dropped Yannick Pletcher already. Pletcher's used a lot of push to pass early on in this race. And is that Pletcher pulling out to defend? It was Sanchez pulling out to attack the back of Mikel. Plezny's got past Pletcher. Florian Arce has got past Lorenzo Hayder here. A lot of overtakes happening out there on track. At the moment, Michael Schmiedel within a second nearly of Koke Lopez. There's Wojciech Plezny. He's now ahead of Yannick Pletcher, trying to hunt down after that of Alejandro Sanchez. And it was a great start to this race. It was really frantic. Schmiedel with fastest lap. This could just help him here today. $25 points left in the next race, so he needs to be 26 or more clear. 9 points he needs to win that championship. Here's Plezny on the back of Alejandro Sanchez. Gets a great run through Blanchimont, now to the outside of the chicane. Here on lap number 3. He's got the inside for the second part. Schmiedel fastest lap again, and Wojciech Plezny, well, that'll help his Munich compatriot out as Sanchez drops down another place. And Plezny there then, great move round the outside of the bus stop chicane. Up through Radion, Eau Rouge and Radion they go. And Sanchez gets a run, slingshots out up to the inside line. And that's going to be another great move from Alejandro Sanchez here, back up the inside and pulled back in on Wojciech Plezny there. Schmiedel may have made a mistake somewhere because he's lost a bit of time to Koke Lopez and then has just found to us, maybe just a timing tower correction. 1.3 seconds back up to 2.1, so he's lost a bit of time somewhere. So he was around the second mark. Live championship update, look, that'll be the gap. Schmiedel 109, Koke Lopez will go into second, and Alejandro Sanchez will be third on 80 points, but that'll be 29 behind Schmiedel. Koke Lopez, though, he'll only be 14 behind, so he's bringing himself within contention, so Schmiedel might not be crowned champion yet. So Schmiedel would want to get past Koke Lopez because that would crown him champion. He's also got to worry about Ciro Zambra. Schmiedel's definitely lost a bit of pace. Well, this timing tower is just not updating properly for the front two. Sanchez now trying to gain once again on the back as Koke Lopez does the fastest lap. Sanchez trying to gain on the rear of Angelo Mikel once again here. as it all just settles down lap 5 of 17. Smeedle uses a push-to-pass usage. Here's Lorenzo Hayder down the order in P11. He's got his brother behind him. Alejandro Sanchez now up onto the Kemmel straight. Behind Angelo Mikel. Mikel's actually a little bit closer to Sebastian Hirsch's lap as well. So he's looking like he's getting a bit racy. And Mikel then doing a fantastic job. He's got a race win earlier this season. He's doing a fantastic job in this race. There's Sebastian Hirsch looking from behind on his rear wing. You can just see Mikel and Sanchez in the background. And with the lap times being so tight this season, it has been so interesting to keep our eyes on who has done what. And it's changed a lot this season. These Racing League drivers have all got a bit closer together in their lap times, which has just made the racing fantastic. Koke Lopez from Smeedle from Zambra. This is the fight for 5th, 6th and 7th between Hirsch, Mikel and Sanchez. And they're not wanting to use all the push to pass at the moment. Mikel getting a little closer to Hirsch, but not close enough to really attack. Sanchez coming with him. So let's see what Sanchez will be able to do. Down the straight towards El Rouge they go for the 6th time of asking in this race. Angelo Mikel, Sebastian Hirsch uses a push to pass. So does Marignon. So that'll just put Hirsch a little further clear of Mikel, giving him that bit extra top speed for 8 seconds. Koke Lopez now fastest lap of the race, so he's taken that back from Smeedle out front. He's extended that gap up to 2 seconds now. Here is Enrique Marignon trying to hunt down, looking for another podium. Of that of Ciro Zambra. Nicely through Stavolo in that, just outside that slipstream, possibly at 1.2 seconds. Push to pass could come into effect. Who's got some at the end? That's going to be the key here. Slipstream seems pretty good. You've got to be close enough to get it. Marignon isn't at the moment. In towards the final chicane now. Here is Marignon. You see Ciro Zambra just up the road, then Smeedle as well. Zambra's got, went down to under a second. He's using push to pass now. Through El Rouge goes Ciro Zambra. You can see Hirsch and Mikel still close in the background. No push to pass usage as yet. Couple from the back of Ramsey and Demerbas. Now Lorenzo and Joshua Hayder use a bit of push to pass. One of them could get their first points of the season today if they can get past Florian Horser. This is on board with Ciro Zambra then in our Zurich lounge. Heading after Michael Smeedle. Brought that gap down to him a little bit. You can see on board there. Oh, just straddled the curb a little bit too much for his liking. Gets away with it though, does Ciro. Did bring that time down just a little bit. He's getting closer to Smeedle. Every point Smeedle loses, let's not forget, it's going to bring Sanchez back in. It's also going to help out for Koke Lopez. Florian Horser on the back of Yannick Pletcher. No, he's not. He's in front of Yannick Pletcher. Yannick may try to come back at him, doesn't. So we're as we were for the time being. Yannick Pletcher drops down now to 10th place, just gone backwards a little bit in this race. Stays in that slipstream of Florian Horse, and Mikel uses push to pass. He's got Sanchez just behind him, but Angelo Mikel's going up the inside of Sebastian Hirsch. That's a great move from Angelo Mikel. Sanchez waiting in the wings now, but on the back of the both of them. And Smeedle's with the leader, still got Ciro Zambra with him. Here comes Hirsch. Through Bruxelles and now into No Name. Hirsch can't do anything on the back of Mikel. Now, will he watch Mikel start to drive away? He's got Sanchez with him still. So he's going to have to be wary of Alejandro Sanchez, who needs every point he can get now in this race. Otherwise, it could be game over for him. Sebastian Hirsch uses push to pass to try and fight back against Mikel. That's left Sanchez a little bit. Mikel's got more usage over them. Round the outside of Blanchimont. This could be a great move. Sebastian Hirsch up the inside before the braking zone into the bus stop chicane. And Mikel and Hirsch always seem to put on a show. Poor exit though from Hirsch. Mikel gets that little chance to the outside of La Source. Sanchez will be watching on here. Mikel looking for the up and under. Does he get it done? He does, just about. No, poor exit. Costs him the chance to get it done. And Sanchez will be watching this. Will be a bit cautious, but will also be hoping for a mistake. As Mikel now slingshots up the inside of Sebastian Hirsch. And that's a great move with push to pass. And that's a lovely little fight from these two that is done for the time being. Oh, wiggle for Hirsch there into Lecombe. Manages to hang on to it. Great little fight. Mikel and Hirsch always seem to put on a great battle and a great show. Smeedle and Zambra have both lost out to to Lopez and to Smeedle. Zambra was just under a second, it's now just over. Smeedle was under a second, it's now just over. Here's Yannick Pletcher trying to stick with Florian Horser a little bit. There's your live standings. Remember, 25 points gap needed for next week, for next month's race. And it'll be 14 between Koke Lopez and Michael Smeedle. So that is already huge. Sanchez would be out of it, as would Ciro Zambra. So Zambra would need to get ahead of Smeedle. That'll give himself 3 more points and take 3 from Smeedle, which would put him on 83 and Smeedle on 106. That would mathematically just keep Sanchez and Zambra in contention. Sanchez just needs a couple more places in this race. He really does. He's half a second off the back of Hirsch. He just needs a few more places in this race. Koke Lopez looking for his 3rd win of the season. Here is Sanchez. He's having a look at a couple of places now. Pulls out on the Camel Straight. Job done before the braking zone of Lecombe. As Pletcher gets past Horser, Sanchez passes Hirsch. And he'll want one more, that is for sure. But Alejandro Sanchez now P6. So we'll have to do the maths on the timing tower, on the championship standing tower again. We'll bring that to you as soon as we have the update. But that is crucial. There we go. Sanchez now still not in this. Smeedle 109, Sanchez 82. He needs that extra place. He needs that extra place. I think Marignon may be out of reach for him. But he needs that extra spot, does Alejandro Sanchez. or he needs Ciro Zambra to catch and pass Michael Smeedle. Sanchez trying to get on the back. This is a replay of the overtake. It was a lovely move. And there's the onboard shot of it. Just sailed past. Nice and easy. He's now on the back of Angelo Mikel, is Sanchez. We're on lap 11 of 17. So we are nearly there. Sebastian Hirsch just watching on. Sanchez uses push to pass. Feel like this is going to be the chance. This has got to be his chance. Mikel uses it as well to defend. So it's not going to be for Sanchez. And he's now got to do it on his pure pace. He's out of push to pass usages. Mikel has 2 left to his name. So Sanchez has nothing left for his own pace here. He needs Zambra, who is not catching Smeedle. Smeedle is catching the leader. Yet to win a race this season is Michael Smeedle. I'm sure he'd love to win this one, because that could possibly bring him the championship as well. I'm not seeing Smeedle put a foot wrong. Remember, all results are provisional. But for Smeedle, to be fair, I think it's pretty concrete. He's not put a foot wrong. Neither's Coque Lopez all race. Zambra question marks over that start into that first lap incident with Alejandro Sanchez. He's within a couple of tenths now, is Smeedle. You can just see him getting that little bit closer. Just starting to maybe make Coque Lopez look in his mirrors a little bit more. Loses out through La Source. Coque Lopez pulls away a good amount there. Sanchez has lost a lot of time to Mikel. Arignon now uses one of his 5 usages left. He's got 4 at the moment. So he could try and gain on Zambra a little bit. This is a very, very interesting race. Coque Lopez from Michael Smeedle, then it's Ciro Zambra now 5 seconds behind him. He's got Marignon. Sorry, out to the leader, he's 2.6 behind Smeedle. He's got Marignon 1.4 behind. Sanchez, Mikel 4 seconds off the back of Marignon. Sanchez within 8/10 of Mikel. Lap 12 of 17, about to start lap 13. What a race this has been. You have to feel for Alejandro, who, you know, out-qualified him. Coque Lopez fastest lap. That'll be a positive. He's pulled away from Smeedle a little bit more there then. Now into the 42s for Sanchez. Just that lap 1 incident just hurt him. Zambra's caught back up now at the time between, again, updated to over 2 seconds. .1 Smeedle to Lopez now, so Smeedle at the minute will still be in that championship fight with Coque Lopez going into next week. Here's Alejandro Sanchez coming through, trying to hunt down Angelo Mikel. Needs a couple more points to his name in this race. Lap 13 of 17. Time is running out, and Mikel's still got a bit of push to pass left to use. Sanchez just working hard, grinding away behind the wheel. Just trying to take every bit of time away from him as he can. Marignon's caught up to Zambra for the final podium spot. So keep our eyes on that as well. But it is Alejandro Sanchez who is the man at the moment, chasing down Mikel. Wojciech Polezny's gaining late here on Sebastian Hirsch. He's still got some push to pass left to use. Uses one of his remaining 5. To the outside of Blanchimont. Did they just touch a little bit there? Not sure, but Polezny now is going to look up the inside and towards the bus stop chicane. And through he goes. Went a little deep. Hirsch going to look around the outside. Hirsch going to look down the inside now and towards the source. Was the outside for the chicane, and no, can't get it done there. So Sebastian Hirsch loses out. Koke Lopez uses his final push to pass. Michael Smeedle has one left. It's down to pure pace between the leaders near enough. Hirsch, great run. Polezny uses push to pass. So that could stop the slipstream of Sebastian Hirsch. Polezny defends the inside. Hirsch pulls out to the outside now at Lecombe. You just see Polezny's extra straight line speed due to that push to pass coming into effect at the end of the straight, and he stays ahead into the Lecombe chicane. And for Sebastian Hirsch here, he's trying to regain that place. He just fell off towards the end. Yannick Pletcher's pulled away from Florian Horser. Lorenzo Hayder's still pretty close to Horser for that solitary point he could possibly get this season. There is Hirsch and Polezny side by side. Great camera shot there as they come through 12 and 13 in towards campus now. Gap's over 3 seconds out front. We've got Marignon close to the back of Zambra. We've got Sanchez close to the back of Mikel. This is Marignon and Zambra then. This is that fight for the final podium position. I don't think it's going to go the way of Ciro Zambra. Penalty possibly hanging over his head. And Madrid, who's been so dominant this season, 10 wins across Challenger League and Racer League, looking to add number 11. So we are being told by our producer that Ciro Zambra is under investigation due to that one incident. No surprise there, really. So this for a podium. Marignon may not need to make the move, get the move done. And could that be the position, depending on what time penalty, if any time penalty, is given to Ciro Zambra? Could that bring Sanchez back into play of another position? And then if you can get Mikel, that could be 2 places. And that could be what just keeps him in this championship or doesn't. But I think this is a 2-horse fight down to that final race on the 10th of May between Koke Lopez and Smeedle. And I'm sure Lopez would have been hoping that Zambra could have got past Michael Smeedle in this race. Here is your race leader, led from the start, done a fantastic job. He'll be hoping that Ciro can get on the back of Smeedle. 14 points is the gap. If Zambra can get Smeedle by the end of this race, big if, but if he could do so, and that'd give another 3 points. That'd take it down to 11 points going into the next race. That'd be a huge, huge margin for Koke Lopez and for Michael Smeedle then. Oh, Lopez just a bit of a wiggle there. Can't hold it all together. Will not want to throw this one away on the penultimate lap. Here's Yannick Pletcher now gaining on Sebastian Hirsch. Hirsch's pace has just died in this race. And he's now got Pletcher putting him under some pressure here. Lorenzo Hayder in 11th, looking for his first point of the season. And Sanchez still with Mikel. There they are, just up the road. Still together. They'll still be wanting to push as hard as they can. Pletch a different line to Hirsch. Out of Puon. And what can they do with 1 and a bit laps left? Here's Smeedle. There's Ciro Zambreluk in the background. Just gaining on Smeedle slightly. I tell you what, if Ciro could take that last place, that second place, the problem is the penalty hanging over his head, it's not going to matter. Unless race control find him not guilty of causing an incident. Ciro's just driving to pull away from cars at the moment. It's a tricky situation to be in. Users push to pass now. So does Smeedle, though. So there they both are. Angelo Mikel's used one. Marignon's got 2 left to use. Now he's only got the 1. Come on then, Koke. You've drove such a good race so far. You've just got this last lap to keep it all together. Out of No Name, down towards Puon they come for the final time in this race. Zambra's got within a second of Smeedle. We're halfway through the lap. There's Lopez, Smeedle, Zambra, Marignon in the background. Sanchez has lost out even more to Angelo Mikel. Ciro will want this last place. He's not going to get it though. I think he's too far back as they come through Stavolo for the final time. The bus stop will be the final braking zone here. Zambra's just not close enough to send one up the inside, but it's not going to matter as Koke Lopez exits the final chicane and he's going to take his 3rd win of the season. Koke Lopez wins here at Spa with Michael Smeedle 2nd, Ciro Zambra 3rd, Enrique Marignon fastest lap P4, Angelo Mikel P5, Alejandro Sanchez P6, 7th for Polesny, 8th for Hirsch, 9th for Pletcher, 10th will go the way of Florian Harser. Then it's Hayder, Torlachi, Mohamed Ramsey. I believe then Joshua Hayder and Sinan Demirbas bringing up the rear. But what a race that was. Drama from the get-go. Yeah, shake of the head from Zambra. I think he kind of knows there's a penalty coming his way. But that man there, 3 race wins this season. Makes it 6 for Madrid. And we don't crown the champion today because there is 14 points difference between Smeedle and between Lopez. So Koke Lopez will stay in there for 1 more race. And we'll just hang on in there. Obviously, all results are provisional, so we'll wait to bring you the final classification. Keep our eyes on our social media at the end of the day to see the final classification and who has scored what with points. But Smeedle, I believe, is 14 clear of Lopez. There's Ciro Zambra. Will he hold on to that podium or not? That's going to be the biggest question. We'll get the drivers' interviews up in just a moment. Smeedle discussing a few things with the Munich lounge attendants. Oh, a rare smile from Michael there, and yeah, we'll bring you the driver interviews when they are ready. But Koke Lopez, your Challenger League winner for a 3rd time this season. Could Michael Smeedle win this championship without winning a race? That'd be some consistency from the driver from Czechia. Yannick Pletcher just couldn't catch or get past Sebastian Hirsch at the end. Shame for him. There is Ciro. We'll try and speak to Ciro in just a few moments' time. P3 for now as a provisional result. I think that face says it all, doesn't it? That he kind of knows that he's possibly in trouble there. He might actually be looking at that back on his phone. Mike Ciro. Try and speak to him as soon as we possibly can. We'll wait for the word. Michael Smeedle's still in the car. Just looks like he's about to climb out now. Yeah, interesting day, interesting race. Sport never fails to disappoint, does it? It always brings us an exciting few moments, and he is watching back. I'm just wondering if he's watching that of Sanchez back there. Realises the camera's on him and that he's got his interview to do. Possibly just conferring with some of the lounge attendants as well. Well, we'll get to speak with Ciro in just a moment or two's time, and I'm sure we can ask him the dreaded question of what he will be expecting. I believe we can speak with Ciro Zambra now. Ciro, just talk us through the start of that race. Obviously, that's going to be the big talking point as to whether you keep this podium or not.
Yeah, I mean, it was very close. I wanted pole position. Unfortunately, hadn't had a good lost chicane, so I didn't make it. At the start, honestly, this is the first time. I don't know if I have to feel good or bad with this podium, because I wanted to win this race, to be honest, to be in the championship fight. So it's kind of a disappointing one, and with Sanchez it was... I just rewatched it on my phone, and it was such a close moment, you know, maybe at the moment before I hit him on the curb on the left side, because the curb is really scary. In my point of view, he already went sideways before that, and then I touched him. So yeah, of course I didn't want to spin him, and I think it's not my fault, so we will see what the stewards decide in the end.
Yeah, race control will have to decide this one. That's going to be out. This is all out of your hands now, isn't it? It's down to them to make the decision. But it was good pace today. You know, you got on the front row of the grid. You was keeping at times with Michael Smeedle as well. You was catching him and losing out to him in certain stages of that race. A good race, apart from what happened lap one.
It was a good race. It was a decent race, but to be honest, I wanted to win. My focus shifted from getting to podiums to winning races, because I think I have the pace. So we can't be happy with a podium, to be honest, but it's nice to take.
I love that from you, because obviously I've seen you through the years come through here at Racing Unleashed, from Challenger League into this Race League. You've gone from just wanting to score points, wanting to get a podium. Now it's all about that race win. We've got one race left. Obviously, we don't know where it is. We'll find out towards the end of this month. Can you win that last race? Is that going to be your goal, get that race win in that last race?
It's always the goal. It's always the goal to win. I will give it my best, but reverse grid, top 10 won't make it easy, you know. But yeah, now really, I'm really happy, you know, where I've come from and where I'm now. So it's a good thing that I'm not happy with a podium.
Ciro, congratulations today. We'll wait and see what race control say, and I'm sure you'll be keeping an eye on that one. Well done, P3 for the time being.
Thank you, Matthew.
And I believe we can head over to Munich, where Michael Smeedle is waiting for us. Michael, P2 on the road today. The drama happened in front of you that allowed you to be P2, and it was just about keeping your race clean and bringing it home.
I mean, in the end, it was pretty lonely race. Nothing interesting if we don't count the first lap incident. Yeah, but otherwise I had a clean race. There was like no contact from my side, no crashes. So yeah, I'm gonna keep P2, and actually quite happy how it went, especially after starting P4. So basically every position that you gain, it's a win-win, you know.
It looks like it's going to be a two-horse race between yourself and Koke Lopez going into the final race. 14 points is the gap, so it's still a pretty good gap that you have in your control.
Yeah, I would say so. It's pretty healthy gap, especially with like the reverse top 10. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it safe, keep it steady, and yeah, bring it home.
What's your thoughts about, one, the reverse grid this season, the reverse top 10, and then two, finding out the track just before the race? It gives everybody sort of a level playing field in terms of what time they can test and what track it's going to be. How do you find that this year?
I don't understand that probably. What do you mean by that track? Because normally that's 10 days before the race, right?
That's what I mean. So normally, because we find out the track 10 days before, how do you find out not knowing the track until sort of that period?
I think it's fine, especially for people like me or Wojciech. We need to travel for those races, so I think it's fair. And yeah, let's see which track it is going to be. Hopefully, it is going to be an enjoyable one.
Hopefully so for you. Michael, congratulations, P2 today. Well done and best luck next time. We can head.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
We can head over to Madrid to Koke Lopez. 3 times a race winner this season. Koke, pretty lonely race for you out there, but you had to make sure that you made no mistakes.
Yeah, it was quite difficult because from the start I got straight to second gear instead of first gear, so I thought I was gonna get overtaken from everybody. And then as well from turn 1, when I shift from first to second, it went to third, then from third to fifth. So I was like, I'm not gonna give it up. I had to use a second push to pass to try to keep the position, and then I knew my pace was good enough to try to make a gap. Congrats to Michal because he did an amazing race with the little amount of time he could practice.
You've got now a great chance of this championship. You're within 14 points. Obviously, you need to win the race next time out. You need things to happen to Michael next time out. But you've put yourself in a position to win this championship.
Not at all. I think Smidel is a very smart driver. He has shown it in the last few years. At the same time, I'm struggling more than what I expected in the reverse grid races because I've been out from these competitions for like 3 years, so I'm still getting used to it. And it didn't help that my 3 wins were from the beginning to the end, not fighting. No? So, for example, in Bahrain, unfortunately I did a mistake that also cost Sebastian some positions, and also, for example, in Nürburgring or even Monza, when I had to fight, it was not easy for me. So, of course, I will try to win, not to make the mistakes I did, for example, in Bahrain, and just wait, because if something happened to Smidel, he can still finish P5 or P6 and will still be winning even if I win.
Yeah, that's going to be the case. It's going to be an interesting race. Are you looking forward to that final race?
Yeah, I actually was a bit like Smidel just when you said to not know the track before the actual race, because I'm also in their position. I'm traveling from 400 kilometers far from here, so I would really like to not know the track, even though I don't know if it's the case or not. But either way, it will be fun. I will try to enjoy, and for me the most important thing is to secure the P2, which is not going to be easy because there are many fast drivers. And let's see how it goes. And hopefully for the next season, start on a good shape from the beginning, not like this one.
Indeed. Well, Koke, congratulations, 3 times a race winner this season. Congratulations, enjoy that one, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, bye.
Koke Lopez there, your race winner. Obviously, all results are provisional. It seems like the top 2 will be pretty much cemented in there, though. And it is then that of Koke Lopez race win from Michael Smidel, with Ciro Zambra P3. Obviously, investigation over his head. Enrique Marignon was 4th from Angelo Miquel P5. Alejandro Sanchez was in 6th from Wojciech Polezny, and Sebastian Hirsch rounding out the top 8. P9 then went the way of Yannick Pletcher, with Florian Horser hanging on in there for P10 at the end. Lorenzo Hayder from Augustin Torlaci, Mohamed Ramsey, Joshua Hayder, and Sinan Demirbaş rounds out the top 15. As we head in then to the next phase of today's programme, and it is going to be that of the Challenger League, in which it's going to be an absolutely outstanding F2 race, I have no doubt. And it was a bad start for Koke Lopez, as he's just said that he's gears changed into the wrong ones off the line and through the source. A spinner of Mohamed Ramsey, but it was this contact here that is going to be the big talking point of today. It was that tap. Did Sanchez lose it on the curb? Zambra pulled off some good moves from Marignon early on in a fantastic fight between them two. Wojciech Palajny Zero Zambra wasn't the only one making great moves. Wojciech Palajny around the outside and got ahead of Sanchez before Sanchez come back through. Florian Horser absolutely flying past Yannick Pletcher, as did Sebastian Hirsch around the outside of Blanc-Chamonix. Hirsch then down the Kemmel straight, sadly lost out to Alejandro Sanchez. Oh, before Wojciech Palajny sliding across the bus stop chicane to get the place off of Sebastian Hirsch after clipping the sausage curb. And it was a good race at the end, in which Koke Lopez took the race win. And Ciro Zambra, yeah, was one of them. That doesn't bode well, does it? He's not sure. He thinks that Sanchez hit the curb and that he was into a slide. But either way, that's the Racer League done. If you want to keep an eye on all the results, make sure you follow us on social media, Instagram, X and TikTok as well, of all the good platforms to find out the final results and the final standings in the championship. We move now into the Challenger League phase of the programme. And this is where Madrid, again, have took 5 race wins, where Salva Talens can win today's championship. That is the situation. He is well clear of Guzman Migles, just pretty much needs to score points. The problem is Guzman Migles is not here. So that is pretty much championship done. Even if, I suppose there is a way that if Salva doesn't score points, Nikolai could possibly win the race, keep himself just mathematically in it. That'd put him on 85, he'd be 22 behind. But it is pretty much done and dusted. Salva Talens should be champion today. He's just got to score points to be champion today. Nikolai Rogoviu third from Stanic in fourth. He's had a good season as well. He's got a couple of race wins to his name as Migles and Rogoviu. Stanic has been there or thereabout. But it's been Madrid who's taken 5 of the race wins. And it's been this man here who has taken, this man who's taken 3 of the race wins. Salva Talens is the man who has been on form. He's had a few unfortunate moments this season, which has not led to, he could have won the championship last week at Bahrain, bar a mistake from himself and contact with another driver. But Madrid and him this season have been absolutely fantastic. And just looking at my notes here, the 3 race wins for him, 1 for Rogoviu, 2 for Migles. It's been absolutely outstanding. And he could become champion today. Just points is all he needs to become champion today. There is a way, possibly, that for Rogoviu to win the race. In fact, I can't even see Rogoviu's name. Oh, no, he is there. For Rogoviu to win the race with Talens not scoring a single point would take the gap to 22 with 25 left up for grabs, but it is all but done if Talens scores some points here at Spa-Francorchamps today. Then it is going to be an interesting one. We're on qualifying at the moment. We're on with Ivan Marino, and this is going to be an interesting one to watch. Now we do have as well, it's a shame we actually didn't go on board with him for qualifying, because we can say a happy birthday to one of our drivers, Melvin, back this week. He's celebrating his birthday, so happy birthday to Melvin there. We're not going to sing for you, Melvin, sadly, as we're going to watch Ivan Marino in qualifying then. He's on his outlap at the moment. These F2 cars, since we've had them introduced a couple of races ago, they have been fantastic to watch. They have really been brilliant races to see here. They've been so interesting, the noise of them as well. I don't know if we can go on board and just take a little listen of one of these F2 cars, but the noise is fantastic on these cars. And they are just so much fun to watch. Obviously, there'll be a few less laps in these than what they was in the Racer League cars, a bit slower. As Marino on his outlap at the moment, will get that one shot. And then we'll be able to bring you the full championship classification. Full qualification order, sorry. While we keep up to date with that championship standings, but as we say, Salva Talens all but won it, really. As Marino now into the bus stop chicane. Make sure we get a good exit out of here, because this is going to propel you down that start straight. Here comes Reno now then, on his one and only flying lap. Crosses that line. Hard on the brakes into turn one. There you go. Now down towards El Rouge and Radion for their sole flying lap. Make sure to not take track limits over this part of the circuit, because that'll end it early on as it whistles down the Camel Straight. Gonna get to see that of David Verthridge, currently P1 from Spearson and Talens at the minute, if that graphic is updated as they go. Just gonna ask my producer to repeat that one again, because I missed the driver's name there as Marino comes down. Timothy Spearson then will be having a 10-place grid penalty in this race, or in this qualification. So at the minute, saying he's P2, he's going to get a 10-place grid place penalty from where he qualifies as a result of a penalty from Bahrain. And he's Timothy Spearson with a 10-place grid penalty then. Here comes Reno into 12 and 13. Car whistling as it comes off the accelerator. Drops through in towards Campus now, and then into Stavolo. Lovely sound on this Formula 2 car. Just getting it into 6th gear, flicking it through Blanchimont. No lift. Now into the bus stop chicane. Hard on the brakes, down the gears, just gets it turned in. Salva Talens goes pole. Right at the end, Mario Stanic has now gone provisional pole with the birthday boy of Melvin up into P3. Tim Portsmouth has gone second. Marino with a 57.2 puts himself 11th place. Timothy Spearson so far down in 10th, which will mean that Timothy Spearson will be starting last place. We'll bring in the full grid order when we get it. So a good start to this one here. Just looking at the names we've got out there as well. Walter Treuninger, the only driver in Munich today. We are just awaiting that final classification here. Of the grid order. So Timothy Spearson, 10-place grid penalty. Here at Spa-Francorchamps then. This is going to be an interesting second race as we await that final grid order here in the Challenger League. There we go, Mario Stanic from Tim Portsmouth, Salva Talens, birthday boy Melvin will be P4, David Verthridge P5, Unai Morotto in 6th with Roberto Miguez 7th, Nikolai Rogibu down in 8th with Timothy Spearson, 10-place grid penalty to his name in 10th, so he'll be going from the back of the grid. Ivan Marino will be P11, Walter Treuninger from Harris Skenderi, Borges Orzo, Astrid Vollenweider back in the Cote, Sasha Rumpel, Aaron Schutz, 17th, Thomas Herzog from Maurin Kadoof, and then I'm going to assume that is Allen, who is in P20. Allen, yeah. That name's going to be butchered all day long. There is the Zurich Lounge waiting on. So Spearson will go from 10th to 20th in this one. There is the Melvin, there is the birthday boy. If you can see or hear us, it'd be nice to get away from him on his birthday. Been to Brazil, I believe, recently, so he's come back from his travels, enjoyed his holiday. That is the Kemptor Lounge, all nice and dark, of Thomas Herzog there, I believe that was. Who are the drivers in the Kemptor Lounge there then? A lot of drivers in Kemptol today. It's great to see Kemptol in use. There is Gomez getting ready to go. And that man puts himself prime position to win this championship, Salva Taylans. Been very good all season. There's Borja Zorzo in the car. The sole Munich driver today, Walter Troninger. One driver from Munich. There is Melvin. Lifted his knee up, just resting the knee. Everybody's nice and calm here. I'm loving the fact there's a bit of a wave. There's Nikolai looking up. Sasha there. It's good. I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a cracking race. There is Timothy Portsmatter. There's Tim Portsmatter. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this race. Astrid Vollenweider there. Great to see Astrid back in the car. Obviously the sim racing couple ready to go. Astrid is the only female driver to have qualified for the second time this season as well, part of the sim racing couple. Check them out on Instagram. There's a few waves there. Come on, Melvin. There he is, Melvin, giving us the peace sign there. Happy birthday to you. A cheeky little wing down the bottom end of the grid there. Lovely, beautiful. Borja Zorzo sat really close to us. You'll notice that there is no Alejandro Sanchez. He's had to rush off for a Porsche Esports event later on from his home, so he's had to run to get back ready for that one. Madrid still packed, still great to see, a good atmosphere. We're actually waiting for them to be put on the grids. This is a long, long wait time at the moment. Still a few people left in Munich as well. High fives all around there. I think that's Wojciech Polezny giving the high fives. He may be on the road back to the Czech Republic. Here is Astrid. And if you're joining us from the Formula One qualifying, well, it could be really cruel if you've not listened to it. We're not going to be. I'll let you be able to catch up with that one as you go. But we've got a race coming up, so if you're joining us from that, if you've come from the qualifying of the Formula One, welcome. You missed a fantastic Racer League race. It's Challenger League time now. We're all just waiting to get on the grid. Everybody's giving us a big thumbs up. Borja Zorzo's having a good chat. I believe Borja Zorzo may actually be streaming or recording for his personal content, which is great to see. It's all just quiet, nice and calm. Stay relaxed, keep the focus. 3.5 minutes from the start. These drivers are having a heck of a wait time here. And let me tell you, it is hot in them simulators. It is hot in them cockpits. You've got a little fan that blows. Don't really feel it too much. And if it's a warm day, these guys are going to be wanting to make sure they're taking plenty of fluids on board. There is Tim Portsmatter, second place. What a heck of a qualifying. Unai Morotto, P6. It's funny, I actually saw one of the old broadcasts and Unai Morotto was in it. And he was just able to see over the steering wheel. Now look at him, he's shot up in his young age. Mario Stanic going from pole. He's had a great season as well as Stanic without winning a race. The sole Munich driver of Walter Troninger, our oldest competitor on the grid. Great to see Walter, always has a smile on his face, always there. Borja Zorzo, he's still chatting away. He's still chatting away. Here's Borja. I haven't seen Borja win in the simulator since the prologue of last season. He did win in the iRacing series that we did here at Racing Unleashed last year. Are just having a server issue. So there is a little bit more of a wait time as we restart the server. It's very quiet in the lounges today. Very quiet everywhere we go. Madrid, absolutely pumping, full of guests. There's Torlachi and Marignon. Friends and family all stood behind Salva as they could crown him champion. Oh, just awaiting the go-ahead here. Thumbs up from a few of our drivers. Great to see so many smiling faces today on this grid. Unless you're that man in the Ella simulator, he's just zoned in. He's in the zone. Is Salva. Could be crowned champion. He is so in the zone, it is unreal. This wait time will just be, as Augustin gives us a wave, it would just be, this has to play with the drivers a little bit. It surely has to, because it's just that extra sitting there, that extra wait time, preparing to be on the grid, just all makes you sort of, you know, you want to get this race underway, you're prepared to get it underway, and it just takes a little bit more to just focus on. Another year older, another year wiser. Does that make him that little bit quicker? That's going to wait and see. As we are still awaiting the start of this race. That man, though. Just see Noah in the chat. Good afternoon to you, Noah. Melvin's about to show them how it's done, mark my words. Well, only one place to find out. Make sure you're tuning in and watching Noah till the very, very end. This man's the man on pole. P7, that man was in pre-qualifying. It was Tim Portsmatter. So a great lap today to put it on the front row of the grid. There is Salva Taylor's P3. As we are just having a server reset, Melvin P4. A win on his birthday. Oh, what could that do? Be a few drinks tonight, I imagine. 09 Morato. P6 for him. Berto Miguez, P7. Nikolai Rogovic will go from 8th place. One race win to his name today, like this season. Adrian Gomez will go from 9th. 10th place would have been Timothy Spearson, but it is Ivan Marino. Are having a problem with the entry list. We are looking at why this is happening. And this is why we aren't able to get away due to a mix-up on the grid. So Borgesarzo's just chatting away. He's had a GoPro on the neck part of his t-shirt there. Astrid Vollenweider sat in the cockpit. Sasha Rumpel, the sim racing couple, 14th and 15th. Aaron Schutz there, P16 in Kempthal. Thomas Herzog, Mr. Ironman in P17. Marin Kadoof in 18th. And there is Aylan. You're going to absolutely butcher that name all day. Timothy Spearson, P20 with that 10th place grid penalty to his name. So we are just waiting on the start of this race. There is race control. They'll probably be able to get all this Racer League business out of the way while we are having this incident there. Former driver sat in the middle. Now race control colleague. They have a busy job. I tell you now, right, I've been around race control. I've seen how much work that them guys put in. That is the hardest job here at Racing Unleashed. That is the hardest job. They come under a bit of scrutiny, but they make sure every decision is the correct one. We're about 60 seconds away from race start, we're being told. Here we go then, on to the grid for the start of this race. Kempthal for the win, says Noah, as it is Mario Stanic alongside Tim Portsmatter. Salva Taylor's from Melvin with David Verthrich, P5. Eli Morotto goes from 6th place. 7th for Roberto Miguez. 8th for Nikolai Rogiviu. P10 for Adrian Gomez. P9 for Adrian Gomez. P10 for Ivan Marino. P11 for Walter Troninger. 12th place will be that of Haris Skanderi. P13 for Borges Arzo. 14th will be Astrid Vollenweider. P15 for Sasha Rumpel. P16 for Schutz. Herzog will go from 17th. Kaduf will go from 18th place. Halen will go from 19th and Spearson from the back of the grid as the lights already appear on screen. This is a quick start to this race. And it's green and go for the penultimate round of the season here. It's a good start from the front of the grid from that of Mario Stanic. Salva Taylor's already looking up the inside of Tim Portsmatter as they come into turn 1. Round the outside, and that's Portsmatter who got a tap from, I believe, Melvin. There's carnage in the background as well, but Salva Taylor's manages to get away, and he's already looking on the back of that of Stanic. Oh, there's contact in El Rouge. They're off sideways and into the wall goes Stanic. That's a huge moment for the championship leader, and Borges Arzo now gets the run up the Opel Rouge and Radion down the Camel straight. Tim Portsmatter, no, David Verthrich now leads this race. He's side by side with Melvin, who's going to look up the inside into the com, and Borges Arzo is having a look up the inside as well of that of Shoot. There's more dramas, drivers off everywhere in the start of this one. And I believe that may have been Skanderi and Troninger who have dropped down the order as well. But it's David Verthrich who leads from Melvin. Tim Portsmatter is now back up to 3rd. Roberto Miguez is 4th from Nikolai Rogiviu. And that's was that Portsmatter sideways there? Believe it was. Yes, it was indeed. He's down to 7th. As Melvin now sat P2 on the back of David Verthrich. It has all gone wrong at the start of this race. What a disastrous start in the F2. Timothy Spearson was 20th. He's now up to 12th as Mario Stanic is running P6. But drama at the start of the F2, the Challenger League race here. Then David Verthrich leads from Melvin, from Roberto, Adrian Gomez, Rogiviu, Stanic, Morotto, Marino, Portsmatter, Vollenweider rounds out the top 10. And this is Mario Stanic and on the back now of Nikolai Rogiviu round the outside before Blanchimon. And Uzak went round trying to have a look at the back of Rogiviu. I think it was Morotto there. Stanic still side by side. No, that's Melvin. And Roberto Miguez. Miguez goes deep. Melvin manages to come back at him. I'll tell you what, Stanic fancies a run at the back here. Adrian Gomez loses out to Stanic and to Rogiviu. Stanic's having a look on Miguez. And who's that slow there? Mario Stanic, I believe it was Miguez who was slow, because Mario Stanic now moves up into turn 3. We've got, I believe, a replay of the start that we can show you in the bottom corner. And watch this, believe Melvin is the car that taps that of Tim Portsmatter, look. We're watching a bit further down on Borges Arzo. He spins or gets spun by another car. There's 3 round there. This is Arzo. Just taps the yellow car there. Can't get going himself. And then Salva Taylor. I don't even know where the other car went. Hard into the wall. Huge hit for Salva there. Well, if Rogiviu wins this race and Salva doesn't score a point, that'll take the championship to the next round. Still a big ass. Melvin's in the wall. Out of no name. And that's going to lose him time to that of Mario Stanic, who comes past. Our pole sitter Roberto Miguez as well got ahead of Melvin. And now Melvin's coming under pressure from that of Nikolai Rogiviu, who is still in this championship fight somehow. And he needs to win this race. Does Nikolai. There is Melvin looking on over the shoulder of him. What a start to this race. Drama here in this 16-lap race at Spa. Through they all come now. Aaron Schutz gets past Timothy Spearson for 11th and 12th. Harry Skanderi down in last place at the moment. Salva's trying to get past Walter Troninger. Stanic fastest laps. Your pole sitter sets the fastest lap. Marino is under attack from Morotto. They've swapped places. This is a battle for the lead though between David Verthrich and Mario Stanic. Up through Eau Rouge and Radion they go. Now onto the camel straight, Stanic. He's used 2 usages of push to pass compared to Verthrich's 1. This could be pure slipstream. Down the camel straight into Lecomte. Stanic back in the lead of this race. Verthrich tucks him behind. And they'll go again. That's for sure. Adrian Gomez moves out of Nikolai Rogiviu, drops down to 6th place. Tim Portsmatter moves back up to 7th. Rogiviu comes back at Gomez, back into 5th. Knows that if he can win this race, Salva Talens moves up to 18th place. These F2 cars sound absolutely lovely. Here is Unai Morato. Tim Portsmatter just in front. Great qualifying from Tim. Just went horribly wrong at turn 1. Believe he got the tap from Melvin. And race control are going to be busy already, I imagine. Unai Morato now trying to work hard in getting past Tim Portsmatter. Had good pace, qualified on the front row of the grid. It's now Unai Morato on the back of Portsmatter. Here is Salva Talens, champion-elect. Just needs a couple of points. He's got to have a great comeback drive here. He's currently on the back. There we go, we can see it. Look, Mario Stanic at the moment would make the gap 26 points. It's Nikolai Rogiviu, the man that needs to win this race, to give himself an extra 15. That'll put him on to 85. Talens, good move there on Troninger to get through. So it's Rogiviu, as Migles isn't here, is the only one who can stay in contention of winning this championship. Don't think it's going to, though, at the moment, because he needs to win this race. He's down in 5th place. Here's Unai Morato as Verthrich chooses push to pass to try and gain on Stanic. Here comes Unai Morato then. Lacar's gone defensive down the camel straight. Morato looking at Portsmatter, fighting with Gomez in front. Oh, little wiggle from Morato. Well held, young man, on the curb. Just got out of shape slightly. Talens and Kaduf having a fight for 16th and 17th. As it stands, Salva will still win the championship. Morato just patiently waits for a move. Oh, on the outside curb. Big moment again. That's going to lose him a lot of time from Tim Portsmatter. In fact, he's going to put him under pressure from Ivan Marino. Bit of a tab there between the two drivers. And now that's brought Timothy Spearson into play. He's come from the back of the grid. And he's now sitting in P9 is Timothy Spearson in the blue car there, look. So for Spearson then, would have qualified 10th. He now is probably thankful he didn't, because he's now running P9 and missed all the chaos at the start. Round the outside comes Marino, still got a wheel to wheel as he brakes hard in towards that final chicane. Can Marino get out the inside of Spearson? They just touch each other a little bit. Borges also waiting in the wings, they still make contact. Here comes Borgia, sat waiting for an opportunity to open. And now Spearson's going to look back up the inside in towards the source. Early on the brake, so he's on alongside. Marino runs deep. Spearson will be thankful of that door opening. Side by side through Eau Rouge. Borges also just watching on here. And that one goes back to Marino, who uses push to pass to stay ahead of Spearson then. Zarzo now, pure slipstream, up over Radion and onto the camel straight. No push to pass usage from him there as Spearson uses one and gets past that of Marino. Easy as you like. Timothy Spearson back up into P9. Lovely move there as he can head after Unai Morato now. Back of the grid for Timothy Spearson in this race. And he's just doing everything he needs to do to move forward and score as many points as he possibly can. Borges also then down the order in P11. Salva's got ahead of Sasha Rumpel. That's up for 15th for him now. champion-elect still, Nikolai Rogivu, needs to win this race, remember, to take it to next week. But it so far isn't going to happen here at all. And now the race just quietens down once again. Gap starting to form. Tim Portsmouth using push to pass to try and get past Adrian Gomez. There's a replay for Taylor Salva's overtake at No Name. Good little move up the inside, gets the job done on the exit. Here he is, just exiting the final chicane. 2.1 off the back of Thomas Herzog. This is looking down from Timothy Spearson, who is on a charge in this race. 20th to 9th in the moment. Trying to get past Unai Morato there in front if he can gain onto the back of him. Astrid Vollenweider's just got past Aaron Schutz. Bit of push to pass as well, so she's moved up to P12. Second off the back of Borgia there. She's in the background, just behind Borgia Zarzo. Very quiet as Skenderi now moves up into 19th as well. Tim Portsmouth was on the front row of the grid. You have to feel for his start of the race. Didn't go the way he wanted it to. He's trying to have a comeback drive now. Oh, big moment, big slide into 12. Just shows the difference of these F2 cars against the F1 cars in the Racer League of how they ride the curbs differently. And that these F2 cars do seem to be a little bit more reactive on the curb. Portsmouth now uses push to pass to try and get himself onto the back of Adrian Gomez. Here is Melvin running in P4. This is back with Portsmouth up the inside into Blanchimon. Easy as you like, lovely overtake there. Camera pans around, he's got that one already covered. Tim Portsmouth moves into 7th. Gomez late dive up the inside. Portsmouth sees him coming. Great bit of fight in that from them two. And Portsmouth holds off. Salva Taylor's now up to 14th ahead of Thomas Herzog. He'll be after Aaron Schutz and Astrid Vollenweider. And Adrian Gomez will be trying to get onto the back of that of Tim Portsmouth. Salva, fastest lap of the race, a 55.6. But it's all going to count for nothing. Here comes Melvin. Both using push to pass. Round the outside of Lacombe, squeezes Miguez. Miguez squeezes him back, and Melvin up the inside. Lovely move. Onto the podium he goes. And here we go then. Game on here still. Mario Stanic seems to have checked out, but game on for second place. Melvin not a million miles behind David Verthrich. Mario Stanic has got that gap, and he now seems to be just keeping that gap comfortable. Salva Taylor's on the back of Aaron Schutz down in 13th place. Here's Gomez. Got Morato gaining on him. And he's got Portsmouth just pulling away as Adrian Gomez. Good start in this race for Gomez as well. He climbed up a few places. Timothy Spearson on the back of this. He's tried to get on the back of this queue. Roberto Miguez looking back there for a move on Melvin. He's got Rogivu right with him. Salva Taylor's now moves up to 13th place. And Portsmouth and Gomez going at it. A bit of a change of place there, it says. Salva Taylor's fighting as well with Aaron Schutz down for 13th and 14th. Spearson's now actually lost out Spearson's now got ahead of Unai Morato. He's fighting with Morato as Gomez trying to defend from that of, in fact no, he just got ahead of Tim Portsmatter? He has. So Portsmatter's fell behind. He's got a run in the slipstream, pulls out Portsmatter to the outside of Lecombe on Adrian Gomez. Oh, just breaks early and allows Gomez to get the run through. Spearson's fighting with Morotto behind these two. Here is Tim Portsmatter now. 2-9 Morotto's dropped down behind Marino and Borges also, so Spearson moves up into 8th from the back of the grid now. Portsmatter with work to do once again. To get ahead of that of Adrian Gomez in this race. Verthwich just brought the gap down a little bit to Stanic. We're halfway through. There is Tim Portsmatter. Got a run on Gomez. He's got ahead of Gomez. We didn't see that one. We was watching on board his helmet, but he got a run on Gomez and gets past him. So now Spearson will be looking to chase after these two as Nikolai Rogiviu moves up into P4. You just saw the drama there as Gomez looks back up the inside on Portsmatter. Now he's going to look to the outside. Will he get the run out the corner? May just have that nose alongside, you know. And that is Nikolai defending hard from Roberto Miguez. Gomez back up the inside of Tim Portsmatter, who looks for the up and under. Can't get the traction out the corner to get the run out. But Nikolai up into 4th. And Roberto Miguez, and Adrian Gomez ahead of Portsmatter once again. So we'll get now that updated championship when we see it. Rogiviu back down to 5th. As Miguez gets past, here comes Portsmatter. As Rogiviu and Miguez are side by side further forward. Rogiviu gets back past there. Tim Portsmatter fighting hard with Gomez. This time goes wheel to wheel through Lecombe. And does he come out on top? Not just yet. He does now, though. And Tim Portsmatter keeps hold of that place, as does Nikolai Rogiviu then. Thomas Herzog up into 14th. So changes there in the championship. Salva Talens now gets past Astrid Vollenweider. He moves up into P12. And hopefully we can bring you that updated standings, see what that does for Rogiviu. I believe he's got to win this race to stay in contention. He's a long way off that at the moment. He needs 1.8 seconds to get onto the back of Melvin. Stanic from Verthwich, Melvin, Nikolai, Roberto Miguez, P5. Timothy Spearson uses push to pass. There is the updated championship. So for Rogiviu, he'd be look 35 points behind. So he needs them extra couple of points. Timothy Spearson getting past Adrian Gomez now. One usage of push to pass left for him. And he puts himself up into 7th place from 20th place on the grid. He is flying in this race. The Aussie. So now Nikolai is going to know he does need to win it. Back comes Gomez. Salvi uses his final push to pass. Nikolai uses one to try and pull away from Miguez. There on board, Timothy Spearson. Can you see Adrian Gomez coming back at him? Outside line into the comp for Gomez. Inside for the first part for Spearson. Spearson hangs on in there. It's a great little fight at the minute between these two. Just seeing in the YouTube chat there that Melvin is under investigation for a lap 1 incident. So the birthday boy could have been the naughty boy in terms of the steward's eyes. And it'll be down to race control to look at that one and decide what will happen. So that could help Nikolai out, but a couple of points for Salva and it's all done anyway. And he's gaining on Unai Morotto. No push to pass left for Salva. Great drive from Timothy Spearson, though. This has been the drive of the day, I'd say. 20th to 7th at the moment. Really good drive. What could he have done if he was 10th, if he'd have stayed out of trouble as well? Unai Morotto on the back of Borges Orzo. There's Salva Talens just behind them there, look. In that light blue livery. In towards the source they go for the 11th time of asking. The 16-lap race. Borges Orzo just in front, fending off Unai Morotto. They're going to go side by side. They're not, because Morotto's got it done before El Rouge. That was a lovely move from the youngsters. Orzo's coming back at him with a great run over Radion. Down the camel straight, bit of push to pass. Borges Orzo wants that one back and gets that one back. And while these two start squabbling, this is just going to allow Salva to just creep onto the back of him that little bit more at the moment. Bit of a wiggle there for Morotto. And we're as we were. Borges Orzo stays P10 from Morotto 11th now. Morotto having a look at the inside of P1. Orzo runs wide. Morotto even wider. Salva Talens going to come around the outside on the exit, up the inside into 12 and 13. And that is now 11th place, Salva Talens. He's got Borges Orzo now for a point. I mean, as it stands, he's still going to win the championship in this race. Here comes Salva to the outside of Blanchimont on Borges Orzo. Wheel to wheel, round the outside goes Salva Talens and Blanchimont. It all goes dark in the shadows of the Ardennes Forest. And as Salva Talens got the move done, he's round, he's backwards, he's flying across the circuit. And Salva Talens once again is in the dramas. And only lost out 2 places to Morotto and Vollenweider. It's not going to matter still because Roggeview needs to win this race. Salva Talens there, I'm sure there'll possibly be words exchanged with him and Morotto at the end of this. Melvin is right on the rear of Verthwich then. Into Le Cop. Down a couple of gears for Melvin, second gear you see. Oh, little oversteer as they come out the corner. Morotto's got ahead of Borges Orzo now for 10th and 11th. Salva's got all that work to do again with no push to pass. Here's Borges Orzo going back up the inside on Unai Morotto. Morotto's going to try and stay around the outside of Bruxelles then, into No Name. Borges looking for that up and under, can't get it done. This is what happened. I mean, we can't really see what happened due to the darkness here. Let's have a look then. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. You see the reaction there from him. I still couldn't tell what happened with Borges. Oh, so there he's gone. Oh, well held from Borges. The rear went so light on entry there, though, into 12. And Borges Orzo catches the car, beautifully done. Carries on. I'm not sure what happened between Salva and Borges there. I'm really not. But that's allowed Morotto to pull away a little bit. Now it's Melvin still trying to get past David Verthwich, who in turn, they're both trying to catch onto the back of Mario Stanic. But as we know, Melvin is under investigation for that lap 1 incident. There is David and Melvin watching on. What a fight this could be. 4 to go here at Spa. And it has so far been a fantastic day of racing in both the Racer and the Challenger League. 1 race to come after this on the 10th of May. And here comes Melvin with push to pass, as easy as you like. And if you want to know what push to pass does, it does that. It gives you 8 seconds of a bit extra power, in which Melvin fully capitalised on. And he's now got 3.5 seconds to Mario Stanic, who's still got a few usages left. But Melvin has been on fire in this race. Melvin moves up to second place now then. Mario Stanic still in control. He still drove a good race at the moment out front. Can't really see him at the moment. This is a replay of the overtake, just so easy with the push to pass. He's already started to put a bit of daylight between himself and Verthwich. There is Stanic now, who uses push to pass. David Verthwich coming back with a bit of push to pass to the outside of Blanchimont. No, to the inside of Blanchimont. Through he goes, nice and easy. Or is Melvin still there because he didn't run fully out wide? No, Melvin now to the outside for the first part of this chicane. Looks for the up and under, can't get it at the first bit, tries at the second part. Doesn't get the best attraction out the corner. And Melvin's got to do all that work again. So a great comeback from David Verthwich. This is all going to fall into the hands of Stanic with 3 to go. As Salva gets ahead of Astrid Vollenweider for a second time. Remember, he will win the championship unless Nikolai Rogivu wins this race. Melvin, no push to pass until now, and it's no problem as he defends, comes back across. That's it, don't move again. And he doesn't need to. There are your championship standings. Mario Stanic will be in second place, but he'll be 26 points behind Salva Talens. Ivan Moreno and Adrian Gomez. What's happened to Timothy Spearson? Salva Talens just dropped back behind Astrid Vollenweider. And Timothy Spearson now has dropped down to 11th place, who was running well. And he's now actually down to 13th, so he's had a massive moment somewhere. So Salva back up to 12th, but has been re-overtaken by Astrid Vollenweider. Salva now gets back ahead of Astrid. He now needs to try and gain onto the back of Borges Orzo, some 3 seconds behind. Verthwich uses his final push to pass. Going to be up the inside before Blanchimont. And David Verthwich, good move again. Spearson now down to 16th. Whatever has happened to Timothy Spearson, Melvin's going to look up the inside of the chicane now. Late lunge and a great move. Can he hold it around the outside? Does he get the traction? No, he doesn't. And David lives to fight another day. You get the feeling, though, that Melvin's going to have a look. Maybe not into the source. Maybe up over Radion, though. Ivan Moreno, fastest lap of the race. Here comes Melvin, up through El Rouge, into Radion. Will we see that push to pass, that last one be used? No, I don't think he's going to need it. Timothy Spearson's got past Aris Skanderi again. Skanderi loses out shoots and Rumpole as well. And Melvin round the outside until a calm. Oh, Verthwich, big snap, well held. Melvin, 1 use left. Moves back up into second place. Good stuff there from him. So Verthwich down to P3 once again. Nikolai Rogivu's not a million miles behind. Penultimate lap of this race. He's got 2 usages of push to pass left. Unai Morato's just got past Moreno and Adrian Gomez. So not sure what has happened to the pair of them. Skanderi now passes Rumpole. Rumpole comes back out of Skanderi, so fights happening wherever you look. But this man, champion to be today, doesn't need a point. Not without Rogivu winning. And this is match point number 2, or championship point number 2, should we say. He had the chance last week, didn't happen. He's going to thoroughly take it this week. David Verthwich now. Can't use push to pass to come back at Melvin. We're about to start the final lap of this race. And for Verthwich here, he's going to have to possibly try and hang on over that of Nikolai Rogiviu in fourth. Scanderi gets past Shoots for 15th place down the order. Portsmouth users push to pass there. All the championship standings, they mean nothing unless Rogiviu wins. With no Guzman Migles here today, it fell right into the hands of Salva Talens. He's had to do the job. He's been in the wars as Salva today. Forza users push to pass. All the drivers come to use the last laps of it now. Melvin's used his to pull away from Verthwich. Nikolai's got one left. I assume he's probably going to use that if he gets close enough before Blanchimont. Hats off to Mario Stanic. Avoided the drama and just got on with it. David Verthwich here then, looking like he's going to possibly hang on to third place. Rogiviu's pushing though. Mario Stanic, what a job. What a job, what a day. And here he comes, Nikolai Rogiviu, P4, comes round Blanchimont for the final time. And in towards the bus stop chicane. Mario Stanic is going to make it a new race winner in the Challenge League. He's been there or thereabouts all season. Zurich will get their second winner. Mario Stanic wins from Melvin. From then that of David Verthwich, who hangs on for a P3. It's the Zurich 1, 2, 3. But the champion of the Challenger League will go to Salva Talens, who I believe is about to cross the line. There he is. And across comes Salva, who will win the Challenger League Championship. It doesn't matter that he didn't score a point. Nikolai Rogiviu didn't win the race. But it is a Zurich 1, 2, 3. Mario Stanic with Melvin second and Verthwich hung on for P3. I think it was a Zurich 1, 2, 3, 4. But we will head to Madrid to crown our new Challenger League champion of Salva Talens then. Who is your champion? It wasn't the best race for Salva, but either way, the job is done, and it is champion for him in the Challenger League. Portsmouth goes over to congratulate Stanic on a great race win. He's been there or thereabouts all season. It's great to see him finally take a win. Sure, he's loving that. Melvin there, second place, under investigation for a P2. What a day. What a day. There's David Verthwich as well, who hung on for that P3. In the end, Nikolai Rogiviu didn't have enough what it took to get P3 from him. We are just going to wait all three of these drivers to get onto the podium. But Salva Talens in Madrid is your champion. That one we know. It's not going to matter on provisional results. That one is happening. He didn't score a point. And Nikolai Rogiviu didn't win the race. Mario Stanic, race win. He looks a very, very happy and emotional man with that one. We'll get to speak to him shortly. They're just driving around to the pit lane. We are waiting then for these driver interviews at the moment. And yeah, Stanic climbs out the chair, out the cockpit, wins the race. Great stuff from him. Melvin second place and Verthwich in third, as we said. Salva Talens champion. That's the big news here today, that Salva Talens has won the championship. Obviously, we're bringing you this from the Apex Racing studio, so I'm sure the team are going to be thrilled at the fact that that's another champion in their ranks. David Verthrich going over to congratulate Mario Stanic on P1, 2 and 3. And we are going to speak with Salva Talens as well at the end. There's Yannick Pletcher, we could say now, former Challenger League champion. Obviously, he's now in the Racer League. He's now no longer champion. That is down to that of Salva Talens. And I believe we can speak now with that of David Verthrich. David, it was an interesting race, but it was P3 in the end. You had to hang on in there at the last minute because it looked like Nikolai was coming for a challenge. Just going to ask that again in a moment. I'm not sure.
It's my first podium here.
So we are just having a bit of an audio issue at the moment from Zurich. So we will get back to David momentarily. The microphone just there, you sounded a bit robotic. So we will get back to him in just a moment. But congratulations then, as we go to speak to Madrid later on. Salva Talens, what a season he has had this year. We'll speak with him after we've done in Zurich. A fantastic day, a fantastic bit of racing. We find out at the end of the month where we go to next, whether that's the 1st of May or the 30th of April. It's going to be an interesting one to see where we close the season. One champion already crowned, but the 10th of May is going to be where we find out who will win that Racer League between Koke Lopez and Michael Schmiedl. We hope we can get to speak to that of the top 3 either way. Right, what we are going to do is we are going to skip the top 3. We are going to go to Madrid. We are going to speak then with your Challenger League champion. Salva, not the race you probably would have wanted today, but the championship wrapped up.
Yeah, to be honest, I wanted to win, but I don't know what happened on lap 1. I don't know if I hit Mario or he hit me. I just lost everything, like more than 20 seconds, and then I tried to gain the position step by step, and it was looking pretty good, but then I got another accident with Borja. I don't know what happened. I didn't see anything at the moment, so I don't know if it was my fault, their fault, but yeah, we will see. Happy to win the championship, but yeah, we're still waiting for the penalty, so I'm not completely sure if it's completely sealed or not.
Yeah, I can tell you the championship is completely sealed. With Migueles not being here today, you are the champion of the Challenger League, regardless of any penalties that happened today. You are champion. In what has been a pretty dramatic season, it started really well. These last couple of races, just a few incidents that really haven't fell your way and allowed you to challenge at the front.
Yeah, it feels like the last 2 races have been a completely lost of my time, but it's fine. You know, these things happen, you know, especially when I've done so many races in the past. Sometimes it seems like you cannot get out of this loophole of crashes, but yeah, it's fine. At the end, I got a really good start, and yeah, that helped a lot, of course.
Being champion now, obviously that means you're going to make the step up into that Racer League. That's going to be a huge moment for yourself for next season.
Yeah, hopefully we can do a good performance there. I will try my best. I know there are a lot of good drivers on that championship. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Well, Salva, congratulations on the championship. It's been a brilliant season. We've got one more left, but I suppose now, without that championship weighing on you, you can just go out there and drive and see what you can do.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Salva Talens there, your Challenger League champion for 2024-25. We can now go back to Zurich, and I believe we can speak with David, who was your P3 on the road today. Obviously, all results provisional at the moment. But David, a good race for yourself. Bit nervy at the end with Nikolai catching onto the back of you.
Yeah, it's my first podium here. It's really nice. The whole feeling here in Zurich is amazing, with Mario finishing P1 and Melvin P2. Yes, in the end I had a little fight with Melvin and also in the last corner with Nikolai, but I really enjoyed it. It was a very fair battle.
First podium for yourself, that must mean quite a bit. Obviously, it's been a long season. We've got one more race left. To get that first podium, feels like you've kind of now know you've got the pace to be fighting for more.
Yes, of course. It's the first podium in the last few races. I finished P4, P5. In the last race I had the DNF, but now I did quite a bit of a comeback. The race is usually the part I'm performing the best. But in the general speed, we can definitely be a bit faster.
Indeed. Good race, though. Like you said, you had a great fight with Melvin. That must have been enjoyable to be a part of.
Yes, of course. I think it was probably one of the best fights I've ever had with Melvin. It's just amazing if you have people that know how to race properly with not many contacts. It makes racing much more professional, and I really enjoyed it today, yes.
Well, David, enjoy that one. P3 for now. Enjoy that one, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
David Verthwich, P3. In that one, I'm just looking at the chat. Noah saying that should he try and compete for the last race? Give it a go, Noah. Let's see, why not? We've had you in the Rush Hour programme last season. Why not commentate on you on the track as well, eh? That'd be great to see you in the simulators there while we wait for Melvin to step in for a quick chat with him. P2 on the day in what is a good day. We are going to obviously ask him a few things. I assume the instant is possibly what we're going to try and chat about with him as we just await for him to come in. He is there now. Melvin, P2 on the road, provisional result at the moment. Just talk us through that opening lap.
Yeah, hello Matthew. Yeah, was quite difficult at the start. I touched Tim a little bit. Don't know if that's gonna be a penalty or not, but we're gonna see. But it's actually about time that I'm here on the podium. So should have been more this season. I only participated in 4 races now, but yeah, more to come, definitely.
More to come, indeed. Now, I believe we've got a bit of a surprise for you, Melvin. Obviously, the big day. Happy birthday. Congratulations. I believe we have got a little surprise for you. I don't know who's bringing it out. It is Fabio. If you look to you, look over your shoulder, a little birthday cake. So there we go. Happy birthday, Melvin.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Just one more question quickly then. I've seen you, obviously we've met, we did Rush Hour last year. You say that many podiums should have come your way.
Yeah.
I've been told you're a very fast driver. Can you get a podium, if not a race win, in the last one?
Yeah, I think so. So it's reverse grid, so depends if I don't get a really good result this time. I'm probably gonna stay 10th, and then I'm gonna have the pole position in the reverse grid. And if not, I will start 2nd, 3rd, or maximum 4th. I think I don't know the numbers, but definitely possible. It should have been in Portimao already, but I was hit in the back by, I don't remember who it was, but I was 2nd place, 5th place, just dive bombed, and I spun around and was 17 after 2nd corner. So definitely more to come, guys. Yeah, get ready.
Yeah,
gonna see way more.
Indeed, more to come. Melvin, have a great birthday. Have a few beers. Obviously, enjoy that 2nd place, and we'll see you next time.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew.
Melvin there in 2nd place. We can now wait to speak, with Mario Stanic, who's coming our way in a few moments' time there. Bit of a birthday cake to enjoy. It's a nice cake as well, that did. A bit of a birthday cake there, as well as then we get to speak with Mario Stanic in a moment. He's going to get the headset on and we get ready to go. And as we end what has been a frantic day here in Belgium. Looking forward to the 10th of May. Obviously for the finale of season 24-25 here at Racing Unleashed, where we go beyond the pinnacle here at our racing lounges across 3 countries in Europe. We can now speak with Mario Stanic. Mario, it's been a season in which you've been on the podium several times, not managed to get that race win. That one looked like it felt good.
Yeah, it really did. I was hoping for it because already in pre-qualifying, I had a really good pace. I was like maybe a tenth faster than everyone. And I just had a feeling I could do it this time because in Portimao, the only mistake I did was the shifter shifting twice. And I just said myself, if I don't shift twice again, I'm going to win this race.
It was an interesting start to the race, though. Obviously, that kind of made you probably feel a bit nervous with a few incidents around.
Not really. What I wanted to do is just, like, if I have an incident, I just forget it instantly and just continue on. Like, if I spin later on, just forget it and go on, continue. Like, just don't care.
And you controlled that race after then, wasn't it? It was about how you managed your race to not make any mistakes while you was on your own.
Yeah, I was quite nervous because I had the whole track for myself and it was like making a normal 30-minute practice. And in practice, I made a lot of off tracks, I had a lot of spins. So I really needed to focus all the time, every corner, every inch. I needed to focus 24/7 the whole race.
The emotions at the end of that one looked like you really enjoyed it to take that race win. Does it feel like that you've managed now that you've had so many podiums, that win means a lot?
Yeah, it really does. It's a big step for me because I never had a win in my whole career at this Racing Unleashed. I'm here like almost 2 years now and I never had a win. And it's really great. Also, I had a really big relief and it just shows me I can win a race, I can do this. So yeah, from the future on, I would hope to do some more wins, yeah. Sorry.
Well, Mario, congratulations. P1 today. Very well done. We'll see you for the season finale in a month's time.
Thank you very much.
Mario Stanic there, your race winner. Obviously, all results are provisional. And if you want to keep an eye on them, make sure you check out our Instagram and X for all results. These are the provisional results then. Mario Stanic from Melvin, David Verthrich. Nikolai Rogiviu needed to win the race. He didn't in the end. Roberto Miguez from Tim Portsmatter. Unai Moroto from Ivan Marino. Borges Orzo, Adrian Gomez. Salvataylan's your champion today. He is crowned champion. Doesn't matter on the results, doesn't matter on the penalties. He is champion. Astrid Volleweide, P12 with Thomas Herzog. From Walter Troninger, Timothy Spearson. Harris Skenderi, Aaron Shuk, Sasha Rumpel, Maureen Kadoof and Halen in P20. There then. The championship standings look like this. Salvataylan is champion to his name, with Mario Stanic climbing up to second place now. That puts Guzman Migles down into third. Nikolai Rogiviu is P4 from Unai Moroto. David Verthrich, P6 from Adrian Gomez. Tim Portsmatter. Melvin moves up to ninth, but obviously under investigation. Timothy Spearson, 10th. And then it's Roberto Miguez, Simon Demori, Borges Orzo, Ivan Marino, Tyler Klausch, Jamie Ego, Andreas Koch, Thomas Herzog, Skenderi, Walter Troninger, and a few more yet to score a point. But that is what has been a fantastic sport. The end of the month, the 1st of May, will announce the final circuit of the season. I look forward to it. Hope you guys look forward to it too. We'll be back live on the 10th of May for that season finale where it can all come down to the wire, or it all has gone down to the wire in Racer League. But until next time, goodbye.